The following feature is rated SM for spiritual maturity and is not intended for the immature who wishes to remain as such. The views expressed are not necessarily those of our sponsors, as they sometimes could care less about what the host is saying, but is more concerned about having their product on a popular show. Warning, small minds, listen at your own risk, as this content is extremely overwhelming and may do further damage to those minds closed off to objective reality. Approach with an open mind, as the heavy nature of the content will lick your chip.
Oh! In the meantime, 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 in between time, time, in the meantime, in the meantime, in between time, time.
Wagwan purple people, yeah man, by now they had them know say a Curly Locks device box. I check in for one more episode of, well, one more bonus episode of In the Meantime, yeah man, the one here entitled Royal Pains Part 2, yeah man. So in tonight's episode we'll continue to talk about, the effects, of British colonization, the effects we have on Jamaica and Jamaican people as a whole. And big up every patron, big up every member of the channel, big up every single person who support Purple Nation, financially or otherwise. Big up those who type in, simply just type in Zion, for help with the algorithm, to get the program in front of whole heap of other people who need it. So I get a whole lot of feedback from the recent release of the visual renamed Extra Time. Some people, whole heap of people are really, I get some positive reviews and things. And, remember the item knows the Extra Time now is a program where, we designed for help with the overflow, of people requests, people who want my opinion on, what them consider my unique opinion on, especially current affairs.
In the meantime.
This section of In the Meantime is brought to you by Bunks About Kids Party Rentals. It's at Bunks About. When you want to customize that special experience to your child or just regular patrons in general that they will never forget, link up Bunks About. And if you're there at Stone Mountain, Atlanta, Georgia, on a Friday night and you miss the original yard style type of cooking, Dumpling House have you covered. And my book Planet Earth is also available at Dumpling House. So double treat. And the contacts for both Dumpling House and Bunks About in the description. And in the meantime, it's also brought to you by Renaissance Immigration Services. The greatest thing for immigration in Canada. Hands down. Just call Renaissance now at 437-703-1147-8. And the consultation is absolutely free. And if you're on the American side of immigration issues and you have certain concerns related to immigration, you don't have to worry in Canada you live, because America have the greatest thing when you name Lewis Law Professional Association. For them, immigration services second to none in America, hands down. Them deal with all things related to immigration, from citizenship, visa, removal of conditions, waivers, and all matters related to immigration in the US. You can rest assured say your immigration problem solved. Call them now. 954-530-1717.
In the meantime.
In the meantime and between time, what is coming is coming.
Alright, so VIP member of the channel, names Claude Sinclair. Yeah man, Claude Sinclair. I said bless Vice Box and bless up Zion every time. And of course I must say I love the new Extra Time program. What do you think about the recent statements that Afrobeat star Stonebwoy made, stating that reggae is African and that Afrobeats is not dancehall, it is Ghanaian high life music, and that Jamaicans didn't create these genres but only gave them their names? Alright, so I'm going to read an article about the interview. In an interview with the cable lifestyle newspaper, Stonebwoy, who was declared the Prince of Dancehall by dancehall icon Beenie Man last December, was asked whether he had a viewpoint and the argument posted by many people that reggae is not an African thing. And Stonebwoy's response was that I am not the only one doing it. There are tons and tons of people who are inspired by that genre of music. It doesn't belong to any Caribbean society from its core. It belongs to Africans. And we are enjoying it in diverse ways. Reggae is rooted in the heart of Africa. It's not a foreign style or movement. Even our Afrobeats today stem out of high life. Him also say whether reggae, dancehall, high life or Afrobeats, they all came from the same source, Stoneboy had remarked. The Ghanaian also went on to state erroneously that all Jamaicans are of African descent in bid to bolster his argument. I mean, I quote him and know him say, remember that Jamaicans are still Africans by virtue of the slave trade. So it's just the music that we are doing back again, he further stated. And him go further into it in this clip where him do when him recently visit Jamaica. And he made the following statements in a popular interview named The Fix, big up now around the whole team. So see clip here, clip here, clip here, clip here, clip here, clip here.
There seems to be like some underlying beef between dancehall and Afrobeat.
The beef.
Because even the origin and who take from who and where things start.
I always give credit to Jamaica for reggae music, for dancehall music. You can't take that away from it. If you say dancehall music and say reggae music, the best that I know, visiting Jamaica and all that I've seen and learned, big ups to Jamaica is Jamaica name dancehall, name reggae. But music as a creative substance, and when you say creative substance, you know that many things come together to bring that creativity to the fore. So that is where you go to the root and where it starts and what influence, whatnot and whatnot. So the name reggae may have been created in Jamaica, but watch ya, it's the Africans who consume it the most. The name is Jamaica, but the sounds is us as Africans.
Big up all of my intelligent Ghanaians them now, who me know say always tune into In the Meantime. Gambia, South Africa. I'm fans of In the Meantime over there in Nigeria, same way, Africa and all. And big up the Jamaican them repatriate to Africa. Big up the one them over in a Sashamane land. Big up Bongo Keith. Me know you keep it locked to In the Meantime. Anyway, we no guess the regular right now. What brand of human feels that nothing enough is share? Let's have to get take away. Them can't work with nobody. Them have to subdue them. I go tell you no further down in our program. Them always have to cut down somebody else to make themselves look taller. And look who this brother cut down, the people them who do the whole of the work where he must stand up on now. This is what normally happen when somebody get to where them going. Somebody helps somebody to get to where them going. And when them reach where them are going, them feel say them don't need this person or these people who help them get this up. But I'm not just Stoneboy alone, A whole heap of people share the same sentiments because them too simple-minded. Alright, so watch it. So when you go say all Jamaicans are of African descent by virtue of the slave trade, so we just like do back the music again. Yes. 100% agree with you. So by descent, yes, we in the Caribbean are all Africans. By descent. And we should have never sideline or forget that, ever. Brother, music is an innate part of human expression, not only African. Do your research and check every Asian culture who never ever even did know one another from nowhere. We never see one another yet. Every person we come in contact with a culture, they always come back. Every archaeologist, everybody always come back, come describe music in other culture. Whether them did a dance around a fire and a name somebody where they sacrifice, same thing, music. And yes, for some divine reason, black people seem to be better at music than the average human. But it's not unique to them. And yes, long before that incident you know, me been a tell Purple Nation. Me not tell you no. Say music higher than the singers and players of instruments. Where it influence. Just like any other objective truth. Music is something your band come see and I go dead left. It is a part of human consciousness. It's a way how we express ourselves. And some do it better than some. Stoneboy argument, if me understand him correct, and make sure I say that, it's little too simple. If me I got judge it by all of me hear and research about the whole thing here, the whole debate. What Stoneboy are doing, I confuse nationality with culture. African, like everywhere else in our world where you can ban, is a nationality. Anywhere you ban is a nationality. Culture is a set of repeated patterns where influence your beliefs and shape your attitude. Jamaicans and Caribbean people separated from them African culture long time and forced to be something else for 400 years. So you that's one picking me born in one plane where I fly over Cuba. It's Cuban by culture. Nationality are where you're born, culture how you grow. If me born in Africa, my parents carry me in Asia. And me grow the rest of my life in Asia. Me an Asian by culture. Because I never influenced by African environment. Environment. So who born in Africa and stay in Africa, I go frightened to see me in Asia and I'm dog and I run down post to curry them for dinner. Cause some me grow. Or some me would have grown then. So we're not African by nationality or even culture. What we are is black, undeniably. We have its roots and its origin in Africa. That can't change. So this thing about as long as you're a black man, you're an African. Me love you and rate you, Tash. But not no gossip, brother. As long as you're a black man, you're a black man. We have roots in Africa, but where are we now? Every fucking way. So as long as you're a white man, where you come from, which cave in Europe, how them not call themselves European? The one them a Canada, America, no think so? It's a human baby born first. You ever hear nobody say them all look for Jamaican now in the hospital? Or the African? Or the baby? Nationality come in as a marker to identify the region of the child. And them grow to become where them identify themselves as based on them culture. And culture is influenced by environment. We never had an African environment. And Jamaican circumstances create reggae and dancehall. And it forced the great thinkers of our time to express whatever them did experience at the time. And yes, there is remnants, meaning remainders of African culture. We contribute to the making of Jamaican music culture. But you have to admit, after when Jamaican got through with the British, the colonizers, the slave masters, we beat out with Ross, so we named Toby, and Johnson and Brown. We're not dominantly African. Again, culturally. But what them couldn't change was the inborn greatness of black people. Especially the one them will decide, so no matter what the fuck them got through, them are going to live. And how them survive was through expression. And that expression was music. And it's music will make out of Jamaican circumstances. Yes, all music come from the same source. Me agree. Me I said that long time on this program. Everything come from the same source. Yes, we undeniably connected to the same grid of cosmic consciousness. Something when me I said to them, I'm sure somebody 5,000 years ago said the same thing maybe in a different way. Because yes, everything in a human consciousness. So when some people love talk about, oh, no man no one no words on everything then, well you in a me too, I'm capable. Yes, you're capable. By virtue of consciousness, we're all capable of the same things. And there's nothing where one human capable of knowing where you're not capable of knowing, but you cannot learn everything one time. Because we can't focus in a million directions one time and get nothing at all done. So I'm going to tell you again, even though everybody capable of becoming a surgeon, we can't become everything we're possible to become at once. So different people have to go off in a different direction, go get different inspiration and be good at different things. So this new age thinking, so because we're capable of everything everybody else capable of, means so we're not to give them credit, is wrong. Not because you're capable of thinking of something me think about, no means you ever did ever think about that something there in your entire lifetime. If me bring that to your attention, me is to be credited. Because you might did live and dead and that never cross your mind. And yes, no man no invent no words, but someone will get a unique talent to organize these words in a way we make you want, we make you have to listen to them. Me write a song, me no invent the things me write about. My band come see them. My only talent is my ability to organize the things me I look upon into a melodic sequence of words in another 3 minutes and add what we call a song. It don't know what make me creative of going on my consciousness and find these things and say them in my way. You go talk like I just the name we give and I done African already. I say it originally. No go so brother man. Who do all of me just outline with reggae? Jamaican. A Jamaican do that, Bridget. Jamaican do that. Why the rest of Caribbean music sounds similar but different? Because it's a different set of experience come together in them country there. And the same for Jamaica. It's a different set of experience created with language, created with culture. Why you can hear a Spanish guitar? Why you can distinctively tell that is a Spanish guitar? And them culture, how them interpret reality, make them play the guitar the way they are. Not them invent the guitar. How come different culture play the same instrument different? The same guitar. Because music in all of them. But cultural expression makes certain things unique and different. Reggae and dancehall is uniquely how Jamaicans express themselves, brother. The music come full circle, and if you welcome it home and give them the descendants, we go, they go face fucking hell and find them vice and make it back home. Some credit, brethren. You have to rise above the ego thing there, brother. Because I'm 100% sure say you did a Jamaican. You wouldn't share that view there. You just look to me like you can't just say you live off a reggae and dancehall and it give you a life. You have to find a way to rewrite the history. Because most people feel say them to genuinely give props. Then it make them less than who them give props. But them for know say the devil, or should I say the ego is a liar. Because people often end up respect the somebody where I give the props. Even way more than the person where them I give the props. Whole heap of time. Because most people know say them not have the courage to do that. But brother, that argument the way I make too simple. If I saw you genuinely feel say I saw it go, why you never choose, why you never claim hip hop then? And jazz and blue. And every other black music. Stop that sitting there, man. But me not have to credit nobody writing on me too. Stop that, man. Me see this all the time. Somebody do the work, carry the whole of the fucking load, and when time come, when them lift up other people with, through this load where them carry and sacrifice and help, the same people them turn upon them. Because them find out now so them can stand up on them own 2 foot. So you ain't nobody pussy. And that happened here, sir. And again, I welcome somebody to change my mind, I welcome that at all time. But based on what I assess, and that happened here, sir. And if Jamaica not turn up tram, after a while, nobody no member say Jamaica do this ras. So yes, Jamaica, fucking right. Stand up and fight for what is ours. And of course, everybody else always welcome to use it. But may the credit find where it's supposed to be. And not like we are fight for no props, so we never put in the work. For we not delusional. We do this, we do it. And attack without this. We have issues, major issues as a people, yes. But that not say if you come take what we create and do acknowledge it to the fullest. Fuck that. We don't want a soup in a mouth, beat around the bush, big up. Stone boy, acknowledge your maker or shut the fuck up, bro. Jamaican deserve genuine respect for this. I mean, no one no man hear me and say so. And come. Well, I'm 200 and kill half how much people that fucking irrelevant to the conversation. Right now, when it come to this, we deserve respect. Respect.
In the meantime.
Alright, purple people, me I go on a good music alert. Alright, I have a juggling pan a rhythm named the Irie Victory. Me I give the item a sample item, I want the item to go over, go support the production, yeah, because it really have some good tune from the rhythm, yeah. So I'm going to play a snippet, a few of them. Here goes.
Take them innocence is my duty. Takes a village to raise a child that me know. But I don't know who to trust with me little youth. I have to protect them innocence is my duty, yes.
May I have your attention?
Yeah.
For redeem my everyday thing. With mass, we winning my everyday thing. Sing some songs and make some fun when I do the here before. Can't you see that we're not moving? Seen this game before. Can't you see that we're still losing?
These are the best days of my life. Yeah. These are the best days of my life. Don't know who to trust in this time.
In the meantime.
Alright, the song I'm going to play now is a song from an artist named Wall Street. The song reflects so much sentiments, reflect the climate at the times where we are living in. I don't have much time, so I'm going to jump right tonight.
Young ringtone. Some must say me super fly. Some must say me think they up in the sky. So why? Them don't even know me out to cry. When me look and see me brother them a die. Sometimes I wish they could feel my pain. Run it. That's how they had daddy. Go night. Young ringtone. Some must say me super fly. Some must say me think they up in the sky. So why?
Them don't even know me out to cry. When me look and see my brother, them a die. Sometimes I wish they could feel my pain. Whoa. Cause all I see is my brother's life being waste. Oh God, I pray things would change. Whoa. We need a miracle cause this insane. But I know I self-hate that them teaching. So much judge and people need healing. Let me kill you for no reason. Use them and live them life without meaning. And you see a money pull up at them ceiling. Them not real and not be a war and gun dealing. Oh, judge them a promote they stealing. What type of future we live in? Whoa, such a shame. Oh, such a shame. Oh, what a tragedy when our brains being wasted. Who's to blame for all this pain? For all this pain, we need solutions, cause this is crazy. Cause when we look outside, eyes to the sky, me fi ask, so I know. Bet the youth, them a die. God sorry fi ask you in vain, cause I know. I self-hate that them teaching. So much judge and people need healing. Let me kill you for no reason. Use them and live them life without meaning. And you see a money pull up at them ceiling. Them not real and not be a war and gun dealing. Oh, judge them a promote they stealing. What type of future we live? Sometimes I wish they could feel my pain. Whoa, cause all I see is my brother's life.
Yeah, man, that one is serious. Yeah, man. The artist name Wall Street. And the song name Pain. Available on all reputable online platforms. Yeah, man, you can check him out at Wall Street Vivo. And the Wall Street, by the way, is spelled WHAALSTREET. Vivo. And the same spelling for IG, but that one they have an official, yes. So Wall Street official, yeah, man, on Spotify, Wall Street. And the inspiration for the song come when the artist, in the dines out. And also listen to the mentality of the people who surround him. You know, it was all about who fuck who kill who, and, how people glamorize, these kind of low frequency type of thinking. So the artist put pen to paper, and the result was pain.
Gangsta is purple. I tell your family say that. When we say purple, we mean that.
And at this time, I got to remind you, don't forget my book, Planet Earth, on Amazon. And you can get the revised version of my first book, The Road to Zion, also on Amazon. And you don't know, Planet Earth is available locally at JA Deals, Constant Spring Road, right across from the bus center in I Plaza where Mother's Day. And you don't know, you go to jadeals.com and check out the rest of them locations. And the book is also available locally, at selected locations of Kingston Bookshop. And Volume 2 of Planet Earth I got released real soon. And also the course, The Courage to be Relevant. I got out soon too, so just stay tuned. And also be reminded, and for those who don't know, be aware. So the season 3 finale, of Rootsland. It will be on iTunes and Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. Remember, join the channel membership or become a patron. The links are below. With the help behind them. Do that. So turn up on the support for the channel. Because trust me, you don't have a clue where it takes to keep this thing going.
In the meantime.
This section of In the Meantime is brought to you by Renaissance Immigration Services. As you don't know already by now, them deal with all things immigration in Canada. Don't waste no money on a hobby, man. Call Renaissance now at 437-703-1147-8. And the consultation is absolutely free. And just remember, so Renaissance believes that as long as there was a way into your immigration problem, there is always a way out.
In the meantime.
Alright, so as promised, the episode here, me go deeper in colonialism. So just who is a colonizer and why them colonize? Colonizer, according to the dictionary, is one country where take another country by force and establish political control over them. And the reason why them colonize people is because them have an imperialist mindset. Now, who is an imperialist? Somebody will practice imperialism. What is imperialism? It is the act of taking over people's place by force. And Great Britain are one of the worst imperialist countries the world ever see. Because out of all of the 195 countries on earth, only 22 them never invade. But you don't know why the colonization continue to this day. You ever think about how much the good majority will love admire the accomplishments of them so-called first world country? You never think about that? And how we love and even celebrate the monuments and various symbols of them success, but never stop to think about the other side of these things where we admire or admire them for. A brother named Walter Benjamin said it best when him say, every monument of civilization is also a monument of barbarism. In other words, cruelty and wickedness. Yeah, man, them things are monuments. A conquest and domination over others through violence of every kind, whether psychological or otherwise. But yet most are we, the recipients, or are the receivers. Yeah, man, the people who receive this cruelty and violence. Admire them for the benefits or spoils of them cruelty. And still want to keep the condemnation and loud criticism of them people here where we love think we hate. We love it. We love cause the British about how much million slaves them carry from Africa come and Caribbean pan plantation and slave them for 400 years. How that make them make how much trillion we build them empire. I mean I thought the same empire when most of we admire and think we condemn. Enough people feel say racism cause them to enslave and destroy other nation and group and impose for them godless, immoral and indisciplined way of life on them. But how long me I telling you say I know that? How long me I telling you say slavery no racist, it capitalist. And notice me no use the word wasn't racist because it's still a go on now. It does change form. Still news that again. All of them wickedness and have one fuck to do with racism. Because from very early in a recorded history, mankind a subdue and a slave one another. Black slave black, white slave white, and coolie slave coolie. The problem of capitalism and the cutthroat rules of engagement with business set up on. It caused the dividing of the classes and make one group put themselves at top. I exploit the one them at the bottom by controlling how and where them think. And make money or capital after the choices where them are going to make because of this controlled ignorance. If everybody have sense and do the right thing, then the institution of business will depend largely upon the ignorance of the masses, where it's so profitable to them. I go collapse. Racism no innate or inborn. It invent to justify the wickedness where it take to run them business and keep them on top. In the 18th century, a doctor named Charles White invent the idea of white supremacy. Research it. Where the superior white race, they are the top and the middle of the business hierarchy or pyramid. And what them consider as the inferior black race, they are the bottom. And remember, if you're telling a lie long enough, you start believe it. You know that. It make them set up people here, start feel say them have a God-given right to destroy other nations as them see it fit. And make them feel like them have a duty to civilize other race. And make them decide say nobody outside of them no have a right to live how them want to live. Enough white people and even black people say there is no such thing as a thing with named systemic racism. Let me explain it. We don't need the millions of indigenous people from all both in the world to come back, come show with them hand where Columbus and them crew chop off in order to control the rape where they give them. To prove how the conquerors at the top think and how their mind work. Imagine say them same people who actually think and believe say people outside of them own kind did subhuman. Imagine the dreadful truth. Say them same people you get to govern their affairs are the same people who them say as subhuman, who for ignorance benefit them. Imagine them we think that way they create the laws where govern their affairs are the same people where them consider less than animal. Imagine that. You think them all create laws where benefit nobody with them view so? No. How them think I go influence the laws and the laws I go preserve them beliefs there. Them kind of outlook there. At this name systemic racism. Because the laws will govern the country affairs give the whites a head start over black and preserve the racism where we think are the biggest part of the problem. But that's not it. And that the capitalist power structure want the lower class to think. Them give the poorer class the race war for fight. So it can distract them from the money game. While them play the money game and win. How long may I tell you that? Go listen the earliest in the meantime. The bureaucrats who run the world today still force other countries to give up. Not only them natural resources, but them very culture. Still news again. I just throw we look for people on two sides of the hill. I make PNIs and I run go down in the valley, go stab up and chop up one another. Till almost nobody no left. And that we expect, and that's why we think this colonization thing over. And that make we know say America colonize almost the whole world without fire a single shot with that thing we name the internet. And that type of colonization is worse than before because it's not physical, where it's obvious and you can see it. It's psychological and it requires we to do the one thing when most of we have no time to do. And that have to think deep. We don't see what do with women and pitney them and with culture. To this day, them are drain the wealth from the poorer country them. And any country when I like that I go drop in a United Nations pressure cooker till them soft. Them just use them media for program way. For see the victim like the villain. And those countries in the West who is actually the villain as the victim. Why you think enough of them countries there in the Middle East now have nothing to do with Western culture and them now want no kind of Western media and them thing there in them country? Because them know say dirty Babylon are the art of confusion. Check it now, man. Babel land. You know read about the Tower of Babel. And wait to tell you about confusion, how man start with confused and everybody go them separate ways. That's, them story they're symbolic. And the same confusion yeah, them use and divide and rule. And then promote freedom as the idea of having everything one time. And that slavery. Freedom can only come through discipline. Them train most of everything say freedom means if you do anything at all you like at any given time. No struggle, you're free. Wrong idea. Sacrificing one thing for the other are the only thing we can bring freedom. Them feel say freedom means that them for free to do anything with them want to do. At any time. And anybody threaten for make them discipline is the tyrant and authoritarian where all McDonald program them for freedom. Yeah, man. To this day, them still force the smaller nation them for indiscipline and therefore them now can avoid being poor and dependent. And any government will want to live for them own way and choose discipline. Them are go right round the world go kill them off, assassinate them. Literally or with propaganda. We cause them own people to turn against them. Yeah, man. Anybody will avoid this modern slavery named democracy we describes as freedom. I fuck them get. Them now stop till them take over your country and put in a puppet government where them control. People who support feed them agenda and the way them think. And them puppet here go just continue to drain the resources of them own country. On behalf of the master, we have pulled them string. I don't think the IMF should have really lend any one of them country in the Caribbean. Lend them money. Lend when I feed them blood, sweat and tears. Them same country we come offer to lend them money. Bill offer. Caribbean, Asian, African, blood, sweat and tears give these country trillions. And them a come lend we back. We own money. That coming like some man go someplace and hold up one place and rob everybody in the place. Take away wallet, take away everything of valuables. And then when the people them know if you go home, the same robber them come say, boy, they can lend you a bus fare, but you have to give me back with interest. Even though we don't agree with the extremes of how some, especially Middle Eastern country, take it. We know why them take extreme precaution to avoid Western culture. Kind of colonize them country and fuck up everything. Them say the unnatural order. Them say the original man redesigned in the devil image and likeness. Them don't want the pharmaceutical slavery and the cancer we come with it. Them don't want to be like the people in the West. We are cash cow for old McDonald and loving it. Yes, them extreme without them dealing with the woman them down there. But who more susceptible to immorality? If you're going to be fair throughout the course of history, what are the man or the woman? Who more susceptible to immorality? Who not find nothing wrong with nothing? Again, them not have a logic-based thinking. So that's why them need to be led. And leadership and domination is not the same thing. So don't get it twisted. I talk about the courage to be a spiritually mature man. Regardless of who begs. Man, when a compromise, them family have to follow the objective rules of morality. We're higher than all of them, no ego, no unite. the woman more vulnerable to the influence of the rulers of darkness. And that's why you find saying in some of them country there, the woman them can't get out of hand. The man them not allowed because them know say if them allow her to eat the apple, that's how you done. Because she have the power of life and death between her legs. No stability or sensible family structure. Can't build with the chaos. Where you call she for make she feel say anything goes. And the woman is a major part of who determine the continuance of the species. And him now want she corrupt. And make him end up in a shine leather suit. Tie up with ball in her mouth. And dildo a take out a top drawer. Or she a tell himself he shit her and piss on her. So the man them say rules and laws won't like it left. Because I'm going to tell you something. A human being is a rascal thing for managing. Don't underestimate the energies. You're a human being, you know. Not some human being like some we like for thinking. Make good and everybody else bad. Not no go so. They pussy in everybody. A regulator have to regulate that. Manage that. Control that. And in order to manage that, we have to have a structure. Look at America, for example. When the next country have a strict regime and a train for them pitting in a class to focus on feed them own culture and how them grow and do things over there. So America quick for say the pitting them and get brainwashed. And I learn them and learn. And I say these dictators wicked. But them do the same thing and call it education when them a do it. So tell me something, when you are going to tell the next country how to govern them own affairs. No dictatorship that. My way or the highway, but to you or something else you call it. Anyway, back on the main part of the topic. So the question now is why this colonization continue. No telling why. Because we still see the colonizer as only them. Some foreign invaders. Outside forces. Real truth is that the colonizer are really we. Let me tell you what I mean. You see like how them say God make man in his own image and likeness. And therefore if a God name, then the creation when build in his image and likeness are God too. They the same thing the literal colonizer them do. Almost every country where them invade, them reshape these people in their own image and likeness. Them instill within we for them interpretation of reality. For them way of looking at life. Then give every kind of education and make we see the world exactly like them. How them see the world? Through the lens of conquest and domination. Not teamwork and cooperation. Everything with them teach we turn with a miniature or smaller colonizers. Even them left with country literally and gone. Them still there. Because them left them mindset and ways of approaching life. In our consciousness. Check out how we deal with every level of relationship. If it's not an either or situation. It's either me or you. Top and bottom. So I guess the wriggle when I ask on yet. What brand of human feels that them have to conquer and dominate instead of work together and cooperate. Colonize a brand. We have the mindset. We're programming in them system. And we have to reshape we thinking. Check out if the average person is set out when them go for a relationship, if them not set out to enslave somebody. Observe everything what them believe. Lead them to want a slave and not a partner.
Hey! In the meantime, 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 in between time. Time in the meantime, in the meantime, in between time. Time.